जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Friday. It is 26th of September. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa, Sukla Paksham and Panchami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnav events in the calendar. So we should move to our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Maitreya Muni describing the Virata Rupa form. So within the Virata Rupa, so there are different limbs are being manifested. Um, and then in each and every limb of the Virata Rupa, so different demigod is entering along with their Amsha Rupena. So by their partial presence in that limb of the Lord, and then so that they will function further, and then objective of those functions are also getting manifested. Okay, so likewise in that sequence, so he has described all the 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 Karanendriyas, and also he's mentioning about the subtle elements like the mind, intelligence, and ego. So that we have seen yesterday. Buddhim cha se vinidbhinnam vagisho dishnamavishat bodhen amshena bodhavyam pratipatyah yeto bhave. So for the intelligence, Lord Brahma is the presiding deity in this material world. But in the spiritual world, it is the Pradyumna. So in the material world, Brahma here. Buddhim cha vinidbhinnam vagisho dishnamavishat bodhen amshena bodhavyam pratipatyah yeto bhave. And then later on, for the mind and its presiding deity in this material world is the Chandrama, the moon god. And then by that, there are mental activities got manifested. Hridayam chaste nidhinnam Chandrama dishnima vishat manasa amshena yenaso vikriyam pratipadhyate. Manasa amshena, so mental activities. Yena aso is the living entities. They would experience these mental activities. And for that one, the preceding deity in this material world is the moon god. And in the spiritual world, it is the Aniruddha. So, Krishikanam Adishwaram, Aniruddhakyam, Krishikanam so he is the spiritual world, deity in the spiritual world. There, Vasudeva, Sankashna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. So those 4 preceding deities in the spiritual world are the 4 expansions of the Lord in the spiritual world. But here in this material world, here Brahma and Chandrama, and then Lord Shiva, and then this is Sattvam Chasa. So later on we also see about the consciousness. So later on, Atmanam Chasini Bhinnam Abhimano Avishat Padam Karmana Amshena Yenaso Kartavyam Pratipadhyate. So after that, whenever the false ego got manifested from the Virata Rupa, Atmanam Chasini Bhinnam, Atmanam it is Mityahankara. So that translation given as Mityahankara, Abhimano Avishat Padam. So when he is identifying his body at that time, this is the Rudra is the presiding deity here. Karmana amshena yenasu kartavyam vipadhyate. When the living entities experience that I am this body, then all other activities would manifest in order to for the livelihood, to maintain the body and to fulfill the desires likewise. Okay, likewise Maitreya Muni described, and then further he is describing about the consciousness. Then for the consciousness, he is mentioned. Maitreya Muni is mentioning the presiding deity is the Mahatattva itself. Mahatattva. So Mahatattva is it is called contaminated consciousness, and then the spiritual it is called pure consciousness. Okay, so that he is describing here. And then further, after the consciousness is manifested, later on, different planetary systems manifested within the body of the Virat Rupa, and then demigods, according to their consciousness, they are occupying those planetary systems. Okay, so we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 6, and verse number 26 onwards. We shall cover at least 3 shlokas today. सत्त्वं चास्य विनिर्भिन्नं महान् विष्णुम् उपाविशत् चित्तेन अंशेन येनासौ विज्ञानं प्रतिपद्यते सत्त्वं चास्य विनिर्भिन्नं consciousness. So consciousness sattvam cha asya vinidbhinnam of the gigantic form vinidbhinnam being separately manifested. Sattvam cha asya vinidbhinnam mahan disnyam upavishet. Mahan it is given as the that total energy or the mahatattva. Total energy or the mahatattva, it is the synonym is given here. Disnyam upavishet, and with control and upavishet entered into. Chittena amshena yena, so chittena amshena, along with his part of the consciousness. Along with his part of consciousness, chittena amshena yena, so by which also the living entity vijnanam pratipadhyate, the specific knowledge he cultivates. Vijnanam pratipadhyate. Sattum chase vinidbhinnam mahan disnyam upavishat chitten amshena yenaso vijnanam pratipadhyate. So translation. Thereafter, when his consciousness separately manifested itself, the total energy, Mahatattva, entered with his conscious part. Thus, the living entity is able to conceive specific knowledge. So here, this translation is given: Mahatattva entered, total energy, and the Mahatattva entered with his conscious part. So it is appearing kind of a deity, preceding deity, Mahatattva. So Mahan, it stands in the Sanskrit, it is the Mahan. Mahan is sometimes we also call Mahavishnu, or who is all pervading, the supreme personality of God, all consciousness, the total energy, Mahatattva. So in the later on in the 26th chapter, there also it is described Yattat Sattva Gunam Swacham Santam Bhagavatah Padam Yadahu Vasudevakyam Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam. So where Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam. So there it is also described in the pure consciousness, pure conscious state, it is called Vasudeva. And the same, whenever it is come in contact with the material world, it is called Mahatattva. So this is Yadahu Vasudevakyam Chittam Tad Mahadatmakam Yattat Sattva Gunam Swacham Shantam Bhagavatah Padam. That is called in pure consciousness, it is called Vasudeva. In the whenever it is manifested in this material world, it is Mahatattva. Okay. So Sattvam Chasi Vinidbhinnam Mahan Disnyam Upavishat Chitten Amshena Yenaso Vijnanam Pratipadhyate. Okay, that is consciousness. Now, mind, intelligence, ego, and consciousness, those 4 subtle elements are have been manifested along with their the demigods. They have entered into this Virat form, and then their functions, so that living entities able to conceive the specific knowledge and the corresponding functions. Okay, and then we shall move to the next shloka, 27. So here, Maitreya Muni describing about the from the head of the Virata form, upper planetary systems got manifested, that is Varlokas, and from his feet, Earth and bottom planetary systems got manifested. And after that, according to the material modes of nature, different demigods, different living entities got manifested. Sishnu asya dharapadbhyam kam naberudapadhyatam gunanam vrittayo yeshu pratiyante suradayah. Sishnu asya jauhu jau. Sishna, the head of Asya of the gigantic form, Jauhu, the heavenly planets, Dhara, the earthly planet, and Padbhyam on his legs. So on his head, this is Joho, the heavenly planets, and then Dhara, that earthly planets in the Padbhyam, Dhara Padbhyam. Sishnu asya Joho Jor Dhara Padbhyam Kam Nabher Udpadhyata. Kam is the sky, Nabehe Udpadhyata, and from the abdomen of the Virata form, the sky got manifested. Gunanam Vrittayo Yeshu Gunanam, of the three modes of nature. Of the three modes of material nature, Gunanam Vrittayaha, reactions, Yeshu, in which, and then Pratiyante Suradayaha, and many other demigods and other Sura Adayaha, many other living entities got manifested, especially headed by the demigods, Suradayaha. तीक्ष्णो अस्य जोर्धरा पद्भ्यं कं नाभेरुदपद्यता गुणानां वृत्तयो येषु प्रतीयन्ते सुरादयः. So translation. Thereafter, from the head of the gigantic form, the heavenly planets were manifested, and from his legs, the earthly planets, and from his abdomen, the sky, separately manifested themselves. Within them, the demigods and others also were manifested in terms of modes of material nature. Okay, so here this one, Karanam Gunasangasya Sad Asadhyoni Janmasu, when Krishna described in the Bhagavad Gita, Karanam Gunasangasya, the living entities previously, here it is being manifested as the Virata form. Now all the living entities, they are dormant state. By this time, all the living entities in the dormant state from time immemorial. Now they all need a particular activity to be so that proper process to elevate themselves. So all these things based on the past consciousness, so they will be situated in the different positions of the Virata form in different planetary systems. That is Karanam Gunasangasya Sad Asad Jhoni Janmasu, whether they are taking birth in the heavenly planets or bottom planetary systems according to their consciousness. Gunasangasya. Okay, so that is the demigods and others were manifested in terms of the modes of material nature. Okay, we shall move to the next shloka as well. And then further Maitreya Muni describing about the how these demigods and other living entities, they have occupied those positions, and who are all taking birth in the heavenly planets or in the earth or in the bottom planetary systems, like that. He is Maitreya Muni is describing here. आत्यन्तिकेन सत्त्वेन दिवं देवाः प्रपेदिरे धरां रजः स्वभावेन पनयो ये च तान anu. So this is tan anu. So here atyantikena satvena, people, living entities who are excessive in mode of goodness, who have developed goodness more, divam devaha prepedire, And in the higher planet systems, Divam in the higher planets and Devaha, the demigods, Prepedire, have been situated. Demigods, they have uh, excessive the mode of goodness. So that is they are more developed than other human beings. Atyantikeena satvena divam devaha prepedire. And then dharam rajaha swabhavena. Dharam rajaha swabhavena. Dharam on the earth, rajaha swabhavena, the mode of passion. Swabhavena by nature, by mode of passion. Panayo yecha tananu. Panayoho, the human being. Yecha, all those living entities. All those cha also. Tan, their anu subordinates, like the lower living entities, like along with the humans. There are some 8.4 million species of life. Out of that, we can perceive maybe few thousands in front of our eyes in day-to-day life. So they're all human is kind of a big brother to all of these living entities. They're all like the cats, dogs, and cows, goats, and sheep, everything. They're all subordinate to the human beings. There is the mode of passion. So living entities whose spinal cord is in the parallel to the earth, they're all tiryak jana. Tiryak is the animal beings. Okay, so here dharam rajaha swabhavena panoyo yecha tananu. Okay, likewise, Maitreya Muni mentioning about the demigods and the human beings and human beings along with their subordinates. Okay, so translation for this shloka. The demigods qualified by the super excellent quality of the mode of goodness are situated in the heavenly planets, whereas the human beings, because of their nature in the mode of passion, live on the earth in company with their subordinates. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Saranya Mataji to read the purport, please?
Hare Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita 14.14 to 15, it is said that those who are highly developed in the mode of goodness are promoted to the higher heavenly planetary system, and those who are overpowered by the mode of passion are situated in the middle planetary system, the Earth and similar planets. But those who are surcharged with the mode of ignorance are degraded to the lower planetary system or to the animal kingdom. The demigods are highly developed in the mode of goodness, and thus they are situated in the heavenly planets. Below human beings are the animals, although some of them mingle with human society, cows, horses, dogs, etc., are habituated to living under the protection of human beings. The word Atyani, Atyantikena is very significant in this verse. By development of the mode of goodness of material nature, one can become situated in the heavenly planets. But by excessive development of mode of passion and ignorance, the human beings indulges in killing the animals who are meant to be protected by mankind. Persons who indulge in unnecessary animal killing have excessively developed in the modes of passion and ignorance and have no hope in advancing to the mode of goodness. They are destined to be degraded to lower status of life. The planetary system are calculated as upper lower in terms of the classes of living entities who lives there. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing about the mode of goodness here. Atyantikena satvena divam devaha prepedhire. Because the demigods generally they all have good qualities. And whenever यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्यकिञ्चन सर्वैः गुणैः तत्र समासते सुराः. When the devotees are progressing, are devotees of the Lord, so they have got all the good qualities of the demigods. Sarvaihi gunaihi tatra samasati suraha. And then how to become sura here is the atyantikena satvena, by excessive goodness. So that one is described in the three material modes of nature in the Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter. Srila Prabhupada is describing Those who are highly developed in the mode of goodness are promoted to the higher heavenly planetary systems, and those who are overpowered by the mode of passion are situated in the middle planetary systems. So here, Buddham Gachanti Satvasta, Madhye Tishtanti Rajasaha, Jagani Gunavrittista, Tamasani, Ado Gachanti Tamasaha, Ado Gachanti, they will go downwards. So, like the Atala Vitala Sutala Tala Atala Patala Rasatala. So, likewise, the bottom planets, they will take birth in those living entities. So, and also lower species as well. That is the three metal modes. And here, how to become developed in mode of goodness. So here, sarudvareshu dehesmin prakash upajayate jnanam yada tada vidhyat vivruddham sattum iti uta. So the Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So here it comes as 14 and 15. Just before that in the 11th shloka. So the manifestation of mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. All gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. That is prakash. Sarvadvareshu dehesmin prakashu upajayate. And then lobha pravrittihi arambha karmanaha ashamaha spruhaha rajasi etani jayante vivruddhe bharatarshabha. O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering they will develop. These are in the mode of passion. That one we can see it. Great attachment to the family and everyone, everything else, the home and the things, the education and the dresses what we wear and the day-to-day habits that we have got, the home where we live. These are all kinds of different attachments. Fruitive activity, trying to fulfill desires and intense endeavor. For that we struggle. Yam yam ardhamupaditya dukkena sukha hetave. And they will try to dukkena sukha hetave. They will struggle very hard in order to achieve their desires. And uncontrollable desire. The desires, this is keep on coming. If you try to fulfill desires, and then another so many desires they are behind, queue line. But Krishna mentions like so many rivers are entering into the ocean, but the ocean always is steady in its position. Likewise, whoever controls their desires, even though they keep coming, then he is said to be situated in the right consciousness, steady sage of steady mind. But that is desires are the people in the mode of passion. They have got uncontrollable desires and hankerings. They're hankering for so many things. Okay, this is mode of passion. And then for the mode of ignorance, aprakasha pravrittischa pramadho moha evacha tamasyetani jhayante vivriddhe kuru nandhana. When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, O son of Kuru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion are manifested. This is for the mode of people in the mode of ignorance. This is increase in, especially in darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion. Even though it is wrong, they still wanted it. It doesn't matter what happens further. He doesn't care about the consequences. He still wanted to do it. He would still wanted to speak such kind of words. It doesn't matter because it is uncontrollable for them. Illusion, madness. These are in the mode of ignorance. Later on, Prabhupada is mentioning here 14 and 15 that yada satya prudhetu pralayam yati dehabrut tadottama vidam lokan amalan pratipadhyate. When one dies in the mode of goodness, he attains the pure higher planets of the great sages. Yada satya prudhetu pralayam yati dehabrut. And people who are in the mode of passion, if they die, rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangeshu jayate. And when one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in the fruitive activities. That is the material world, the earth. राजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गेषु जायते तथा प्रलीनः तामसि मूढयोनिषु जायते. Modayonishu jayate. So people who die in the mode of ignorance, they will take birth in the animal kingdom. So this is how Prabhupada is describing here. Likewise, based on their consciousness, whether goodness or passion or ignorance, all the living entities they situate in the 14 planet systems according to their positions. Those who are overpowered by the mode of passion are situated in the middle planet systems, the Earth and the similar planets. These are called Bhu Bhur and Suvarloka. These are called middle planetary systems. And upper planetary systems, Maharloka, Tapoloka, Janoloka, and then Satyaloka. And bottom planetary systems, 7 of them. Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Tala, Tala. So this again the form, Virata form here. So here bottom planetary systems are properly divided here. Bottom is the Patala Loka, and then likewise Atal, I think this is 3, 4, 5. Yes. Atala, Vitala, Sutala. The Sutala here where the Maharaja Bali is situated. Sutala, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatala, Rasatala, Mahatala, Patala. Patala is where all the snakes, such kind of species live there. Okay, that is the different planetary systems. And but those who are surcharged with the mode of ignorance are degraded to the lower planet systems or the animal kingdom. Demigods are highly developed in the mode of goodness, and thus they are situated in the heavenly planets. And below human beings are the animals, although some of them mingle with human society, cows, horses, dogs, etc., are habituated to living under the protection of human beings. So here humans are like a big brother to all these domestic animals. So this is because humans can protect everything. At the same time, human can also destroy. When humans are living in the mode of ignorance, then they destroy everything else. It is very dangerous to all the living entities. Nowadays, what we see, the people of this, the leaders of the countries, they're all demons, big demons. They're not ordinary ones. They are all demonic people. They're trying to create and havoc in these societies by constructing big weapons, destructive weapons. And this technology is being misused by everyone. If something is invented, that is for because there is no God consciousness in the beginning, that is not the purpose. It is being engaged in the destructive way. Every invention is a destructive way. But people think it is advanced. It is only creating a disturbance in the mind of the innocent people, unnecessarily disturbing. So lifespan is not being increased and people are unnecessarily tortured. There is no steady life anywhere on the planet. This is the what uh, people in the mode of ignorance. But when the other living entity is under the control of such kind of people, they are going to slaughterhouses, cows, horses, dogs, etc. But human society must be civilized, Aryan society, Aryan civilization. Aryan civilization is the Varnashrama Dharma. For people in the Varnashrama Dharma, Mother Earth always worries about their well being, but not for the people who are like cats and dogs. Okay, and further, Srila Prabhupada describes the word Atyantika is very significant in this verse. By development of mode of goodness of material nature, one can become situated in the heavenly planets. And by excessive development of mode of passion and ignorance, the human being indulges in killing the animals who are meant to be protected by mankind. So here Prabhupada described here. So whenever human beings are created by Lord Brahma at the time, Aho etat jagasrishtaha sukritam batite kritam pratishtaha kriya yasmin sakamanna madamahe. Oh Brahma, you have done very good job. The human beings they are going to perform sacrifices and do so many Vedic dharmas. At the time, they offer food to the demigods and other living entities. They will give protection to everyone else. Sakam annam adamahe. They will give the food to everyone. So in such a way, all the living entities have got faith on the humans. Now, the humans, when they're killing those animals who are meant to be protected by mankind, we can understand how horrible the situation is. Okay, so the persons who indulge in unnecessary animal killing have excessively developed in the mode of passion and ignorance and have no hope of advancement to the mode of goodness. They are destined to be degraded to the lower status of life. This is jagani gunavrittistha adho gachanti tamasaha. So by engaging themselves in the sinful activities, they will go down into the lower species of animal kingdom. They take birth muda janmani. They will take birth in the lower statuses of life. The planet systems are calculated as upper and lower in terms of classes of living entities who live there. Okay, likewise, this is been explained very nicely here. And planet systems. Here we do not see the demigods from the bottom planet systems, but here Prajapati is here. And then further, on the upper, all the demigods are situated here in the upper parts. And the sky, the navel is the space, navel of the Virata Purusha. So this is compared to the sky. Kamnabehe Udapadhyata. Okay, so this is the Virata form. Okay, that's from Srimad Bhagavatam. Atyantikena satvena dhivam devaha pripedhire dhram rajaha swabhavena panayo yecha tan anu. We shall move to Srimad Bhagavatam Jai. We shall move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Yamuna, November 18th, 1970, Bombay. It is a small letter only. Can I request any unallocated devotee to read this letter, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, may I try?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Thank you. My dear Yamuna Devi, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your nice letter to report from Delhi dated November 1970 and have noted the contents. I have already written to Guru Das to try for one very nice temple in Vrindavan which is in good repair. If we can establish one center there, it will be very, very nice. Our foreign devotees must have one very nice place in Vrindavan where they may stay while visiting there. And I think this palace of the Maharaja of Bharatpur is just right for us. So you both together work very strenuously in Delhi for making life members. That will provide the means for establishing our branches. Regarding Mr. Gupta, he is an old friend of mine, but I think if you can get to him to become our life member, you should not expect more than that. That much will be satisfactory. Regarding the Gaudiya Math, our position has nothing to do with them. They cannot do anything, and if somebody does something, they will be envious. That is the nature of third-class men. My Guru Maharaj once told this story. One friend informed another that one man has become the High Court judge. Oh no, he replied. No, that cannot be right. Yes, he is now a judge, said the first friend. I've seen him sitting on the bench. The second man replied, maybe, but I don't think he is getting any salary. Such envious men will find out some fault anywhere. There is no fault actually, but they will manufacture some fault. That is their business. So many persons were envious of my Guru Maharaj, but he was preaching and he did not care for them. Please offer my blessings to all the other devotees with you in Delhi. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Can you take your points, Mataji?
Prabhuji, I didn't get something, but I will do my best. So here, Swamiji is writing, Prabhupada is writing to Yamuna Devi, and is talking about the temple in Vrindavan, that we need to now establish, maintain a temple so that the foreign devotees can come and stay. So we really need to make sure that it's in good repair and there are facilities there for when other devotees come from foreign lands. And so he's suggesting, so this place of Maharaj Bharatpur is the ideal place for them to work on. And then the thing about life members, we read yesterday as well, that is very keen on increasing the number of life members, which will help them in supporting their branches, temple maintenance and everything, and building more centers. So again, about Mr. Gupta as well, he said, just if you can get him to become a life member, but then don't expect any more than that. And I think we touched briefly about that as well yesterday, that sometimes they're not necessarily devotees, but they are there because they have got the opulence and, they can support with money. So even that is better than anything. That bit, Gaudiya Math, I didn't quite understand. So Prabhuji, you might have to, or some other devotee can help. And then this last bit about Guru Maharaj and envy. He said sometimes people will be envious, and they will conjure or manufacture things just because they are not happy with the other party. So they will try and find faults or find something or the other to justify, but in fact they are envy. So he said, don't worry about them. And my Guru Maharaj never worried about those people. So yeah, sorry about that, Prabhuji. I didn't understand about Gaudiya Math and their position. I'm not quite into it. Didn't understand that bit.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai. You have nicely summarized, Mataji. Thank you so much. Okay, any other comments in a bullet points by dear devotees? Thank you, Mataji. You wanted to add anything, Mataji? Okay, so that is from any other comments from any devotees?
Prabhu, Prabhu, may I say something?
Yes, Prabhuji.
When he's referring to Gaudiya Math, I do not know the whole history fully, but from little that I know, was there some kind of a situation in the Gaudiya Math disciples, devotees, whereby it was a like there was a bit of a conflicting situation, and the devotees sort of fell out with each other, and then there were certain instances where devotees were envious of each other and were not fully respectful towards each other. Is he by chance mentioning of that, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It is when Prabhupada was coming to UK, so sorry, not UK, so the America, the Western countries. So before Prabhupada, many people from Gaudiya Math, they also went there, but they could not succeed. And when Srila Prabhupada went to America and then spreading at that time, he requested some support from them, but there was no response. So they are saying the indifferent opinions on Srila Prabhupada, and they were not cooperative. So later on, this letter is during the period of 1970. And by the time already 4 or 5 years have gone for the age of Krishna consciousness movement. So at that particular time, still some people, it is our kind of a matsara, the quality of a people, matsara. If someone is opulent in some way, we cannot tolerate. Okay, so that is kind of enviousness, matsara. So Prabhupada is mentioning that one. So it is, you don't expect anything from them like that. So people who are envious, they may try to find some kind of faults, but devotees, they do not do it. It is not the quality of the devotees to find faults. Okay, so that is the Prabhupada's experience and telling Yamuna Mataji. So be cautious about it. Okay, Jai Mataji.
Sorry, Prabhuji, you know the Gaudiya word, that we are part of
Sorry.
Gaudiya
Yes.
Vaishnavism, aren't we? Or
Yes, Mataji. We are Gaudiya Guru, Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Gauda means it is the Bengal. Gauda Desha is Bengal. So
so
that
Gaudiya Math was slightly different to this, so
Gaudiya Mat is the this Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, he has established this Gaudiya Mata. And because this our Krishna consciousness movement, it has emanated from that Gauda Desha. So that's why it is called always Gauda, like that. Wherever we see Gauda, it is referring to the area that Bengal. And then Gaudiya Vaishnavas, and here Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, he has established 64 matas, Gaudiya matas, and to spread Krishna consciousness movement. And there were some members are also envious about Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, but he never cared about it. He is a Naistika Brahmachari. He stayed as a Brahmachari and spreading Krishna consciousness. If one is a Brahmachari, he is so powerful that he can maintain and he can do anything. He has no attachment to this material world. He does not have any desires for himself as well. So here his only mission is to preach here Krishna consciousness, to please his spiritual master and Krishna. So in that way he was proceeding, and then under Gaudiya Mat, so we comes under as part of one branch of Gaudiya Mat. It is now ISKCON, it is spread, its wing has been spread bigger than the Gaudiya Mat as it is. So we are part of this Gaudiya Mat, and Gaudiya Mat, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, his spiritual master is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji and Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Jagannath Das Babaji. So this Vaishnavism, it is always Shashwataha Dharma Gopta, the Krishna consciousness, it is always very subtle and it is covered. And our acharyas, they are opening it for all of us. That is where we get the blossomed flower or ripened fruits from ISKCON movement. So, but yes, we are part of Gaudiya Vaishnavas.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. May I add something as well?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Yeah, so as you have explained very nicely, the word actually it started with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaudiya means actually it says Gaudiya, but Gora, I mean, Gora Chand means Gora in, I mean, Hindi also in Bengali like is used as a colloquial word for golden complexion. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was golden complexion, so that from him the movement started, right? Gaudiya. So it started in Bengal, like our parampara. I mean, it's called Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya, like Vaishnavism. So Brahma is there, of course, like all the four paramparas, Sri Parampara, Rudra Parampara, and other paramparas. Like so, it's Brahma. It started from him, and then Madhavacharya. He's from the south. And then Gaudiya means Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He is from the east. So it's like, their names are like in South India, sometimes you see like some names, they have name of their forefathers and the ancestral place and all that. So it's like that. So a parampara is like that. So Gaudiya means starting from, basically from Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gauranga, he's called Gauranga because he's golden complexion. Simple as that. And that region, as Prabhu explained, is that region of Bengal is called Gaudiya. And Gaudiya Math means, like, of course, when his father Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he focused more on writing songs, finding about the birthplace of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and apart from carrying out his job and writing so many books, but he did not, I think, I'm not very sure, but he did not open a lot of temples or like that. He was in Puri for a long time as a magistrate of Puri, Jagannath Puri. He did a lot there also. But when his son, like Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur, he came, he took the movement a bit further. So he opened the 64 Gaudiya Math and all over the country, establishing again Vaishnavism, especially in the east, and there are so many in other parts of it. And he also wanted to spread in the west, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's dream, like in every town and village. So he had sent, as Prabhu mentioned, like three or four of his disciples in the west, in UK especially. But they could not, not everybody is so empowered, so like as Prabhupada. So they lost they finished the money and cold and weather, and it was not successful until one of the ladies, like from, there's a Gaudiya mission here, she gave like George Harrison, she also gave up her house for the mission, and it's there in London, Gaudiya mission. So like that. And he started that, and from there, when he had his disciple Srila Prabhupada, he knew that because he's well versed in Sanskrit and English, so he is the chosen one to go far west. So that's why he empowered him to go in the west, to preach, and that's how, and then Prabhupada, because it started in the west, he did not succeed so much in the east. He wanted to spread it in the west, so he named International Society of Krishna Consciousness. So it's basically the same philosophy, but because it started in the west, so Prabhupada named it International Society. So hope, Mataji, that makes a bit of sense, like how the disciplic succession, it has come like that. So but as in this letter you read, like people in India, sometimes they, even though in bhakti, they were envious that, we could not do what Prabhupada could do, and that's why so much jealousy and all that. So that came in between. But that's, I mean, the main movement, it's about like how it's called Gaudiya. So yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained. And Vijay Krishna Prabhuji, you want to add any comment?
Yes, Amaga Prabhu, if you can hear me. This part of the letter related to envy reminded me of, yes, there was a pastime that the local police warned Bhaktisiddhanta about, if I'm not wrong, the Smarta Brahmanas, the local Smarta Brahmanas, who did not believe in a Brahmana being a Brahmana because of being born with Brahminical qualities. They believe that Brahman is Brahmana only when he takes birth in a Brahminical family. Those are the Smarta Brahmanas. And at the time they were existing, when Bhaktisiddhanta was preaching, and they tried to kill him. And they even bribed the local police, but the local police happened to be respectful towards Bhaktisiddhanta and warned him, you do not go there because they are plotting to kill you. And that's how Bhaktisiddhanta saved his life. So yes, envy was coming from the Smarta Brahmanas and against Bhaktisiddhanta, and envy was also existing between his disciples who were fighting because of the rooms in one of the temples, and there was a conversation between Bhaktisiddhanta and Srila Prabhupada, if I'm not wrong, near Radhakund, and Bhaktisiddhanta was very sad because he even went to the extreme of saying, better if I would sell the marble of the temple for me to print books and distribute books. My disciples are fighting because who is going to stay in this room and in that room. So you see envy even between the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, and that was so disgusting for Bhaktisiddhanta. And then it was then that Bhaktisiddhanta asked Srila Prabhupada, you get out of this mess and go to the West and preach Krishna consciousness in the English speaking